You feel that weird quiet in the air, because stuff is moving behind the scenes that could flip Miami's direction faster than you can catch your breath. There's a forgotten name popping back up where nobody expected it. There's a decision that looks ice cold, but might be the first step into a new era. And there's a rookie quietly dropping hints about who's ready to carry this shield when the pressure hits. What we've got today is wild. So get comfortable, tap that like, and let's get straight into it. And real talk, do you actually trust the plan this team is cooking up? You know those stories that seem small at first, like a footnote. But once you pull the thread, the whole sweater comes apart and exposes stuff the franchise would rather keep buried? Yeah, this is one of those. Over the last few hours, a name that basically disappeared from the Dolphins fan radar popped back up in the most uncomfortable way possible. Not in Miami. Not smiling in an open practice photo. Not talking about a fresh start. It was a quiet workout, far from South Florida, with a team that lives off finding value where others see failure. And that question hits hard. Did we give up too early? Or did we see something nobody wanted to say out loud? Cam Smith, our second-round pick back in 2023, just worked out for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the timing matters. This came a day after the Chiefs got knocked out of the playoffs, ending that long AFC run. When a team like that opens the door to 10 young players, it's because they're hunting for fast, cheap solutions with upside. And in that group were two guys who've worn Dolphins gear in camp, rookie corner B.J. Adams and Cam Smith himself. That alone pours gasoline on the debate, because cornerback was an open wound for Miami this season. And this is where it gets tough to swallow as a fan. Cam never really got real traction here. And the timing couldn't be worse. This was the year our secondary was held together with duct tape. Jalen Ramsey moved, Kendall Fuller gone. Injuries everywhere, Kader Kohou, Artie Burns, you name it. How many drives did you watch thinking, man, we just need somebody to compete for that ball? And still, Cam wasn't out there. Why? What's been floating around behind the scenes, and this didn't come out of nowhere, is that it wasn't just about health. There were real questions about professionalism, about daily habits, preparation, consistency. Basically, talent without trust. And in the NFL, no coach is throwing a corner on the field if one missed detail can blow up the coverage. Camp already had him on thin ice. Then came the thigh injury. He comes back. And even Chris Greer said at the time he was making some of the best plays of the last couple weeks. Then comes the gut punch. When the 53-man roster was set, Miami put him on NFI. For a lot of people, that felt like the stamp that said it's over. And the history makes it sting more. Miami had only 4 picks in that 2023 draft. 4. You can't miss on a second rounder in that situation. It hurts even more when you play the what-if game. Zach Charbonnet, Tuli Tuipulotu, Tariq Stevenson, Osiris Torrance. Guys who could have filled other holes. But the past doesn't give picks back, it gives scars. What matters now is this. If the Chiefs see something Miami couldn't unlock, that's an uncomfortable mirror for our front office and player development. But before everyone jumps to Miami is clueless, there's another side to it. Maybe Miami was right to move on early from a guy who wasn't delivering day to day. Talent alone doesn't hold up a defense. The difference is Kansas City has a culture that tries to recycle players. They drop you into a demanding system. Veterans on you every snap. Clear expectations. If Cam buys in, he might revive his career. If he doesn't, he fades again. That's it. And while fans are split between what a waste and good riddance, there's a much bigger bomb going off on offense. This one changes the heartbeat of the locker room, because this is where things go from backstage chatter to a real earthquake. This decision hits the soul of the team, the locker room, and the patience of the fan base. You know when a coach says everything's on the table, and we roll our eyes like it's just press conference talk? This time it was real. What had been whispered turned into a headline. According to Adam Schefter, the Dolphins benched Tua Tagovailoa, and rookie Quinn Ewers is lined up to start on Sunday. And before you react on instinct, breathe with me for a second. This move says more about how Miami sees the future than about one single game. Because on paper, that 28-15 loss to the Steelers doesn't look like a personal disaster for Tua. He went 22 of 28 for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Plenty of Sundays, those numbers win. But if you watched, you know the truth. There was no consistency. A drive would click, then suddenly a miscommunication, a late read, a risky throw, and the rhythm was gone. And when you're 6-8 and officially out of the playoff picture, the question gets brutal. Are we replaying the same movie? Or are we building something new? After the game, Tua said something that really stuck with me. He admitted he was disappointed in himself for how he prepared the receivers, that he felt like he let the guys down. He talked about confusion, communication issues, guys in and out of the huddle, play calls, alignments, knowing where to be. That stuff never shows up in the box score, but you can see it in the body language when things get tight. If the quarterback doesn't feel connected to the system, the whole thing collapses. On the season, Tua's sitting at 2,660 yards, 20 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and a 67.7% completion rate. It's a weird profile. High completion rate, too many turnovers, and not enough wins. The fan base is split. You see it every day. One side says it's the line, the play calling, the injuries, the defense. The other says no. It's Tua not lifting the team when it matters. And now the coaching staff just lit a match. Because Quinn Ewers hasn't exactly shown much yet. He's 5 of 8 for 53 yards in limited action. It's not like he's proven anything at the NFL level. What he has is what every rookie carries. The benefit of the doubt and a clean slate that can free up an offense, or it can blow up if the team feels like it's experimenting instead of competing. The strategy is cold but simple. No playoffs means every snap is an evaluation for 2026. You play the rookie. You check the ceiling. See how fast he processes. If he protects the ball. If he commands the huddle. And you send a message to Tua that nothing is guaranteed. Here's the tension nobody wants to face. What if Ewers steps in and the offense, even stripped down, looks more alive? What if the ball comes out on time and communication is cleaner? That doesn't automatically mean he's better, but it might mean the room needed a jolt. On the flip side, if he struggles and the offense stalls, then the story flips to McDaniel burning a rookie and exposing the roster. Which outcome do you honestly see coming? And while we're all stuck on that decision, there's another layer that's flying under the radar. The rookies on defense and in the trenches are showing exactly who deserves to be a pillar and who still has a long way to go. When a team gets eliminated, a lot of people check out and say the season's over. But if you're really a Dolphins fan, this is when the truth shows up. No makeup. Without the pressure of must-win football, you find out who can take a hit, who's growing, and who is just riding the system. The rookie grades after Week 15 against the Steelers were a brutal x-ray. Some guys are turning promise into presence. Some are hitting physical limits. And one high pick is already being judged like a star, not a project. Start with Kenneth Grant. He flashed. He pushed the line, adjusted the line of scrimmage at times, even showed early pressure by driving the guard back into the quarterback. That's the Michigan pop we were waiting for. Then reality hits. He struggled against double teams, got sealed inside on a few runs, and overall landed in the just okay range. And when you're the 13th overall pick, okay doesn't satisfy for long. The question is simple. When does this guy dominate instead of just popping up? On the offensive line, Jonas Savaiania had one of those games that fools you. For most of it, the tape looked solid. Good run seals, steady pass protection, only one pressure allowed, a couple subpar run blocks. Then crunch time hit, when the offense had to throw, and it fell apart. 4 pressures allowed in the final 6 minutes, Cameron Hayward collapsing the pocket. Nearly a sack that only didn't count because Tua escaped and found a chain. It's a stock drop, but more of a warning than a verdict. His hand usage and angles have to tighten up, because late-game NFL football is all teeth and knives. Jordan Phillips was the opposite of drama. A workmanlike game against a physical interior that ran the ball 32 times. He didn't shine as a pass rusher, but he ate blocks, created movement, even handled some double teams. Missed one tackle near the line, which probably hurt his grade, but overall the arrow's pointing up. Then there's Dante Trader Jr., who had the kind of moment that sticks in your brain. Missed tackle on DK Metcalf's touchdown. Bad angle, wide open lane. He only played 14 snaps, but that mistake screams. Still, as depth, he's usable. And with the season gone, I want him on the field learning, not the team pretending they already know what they have. That's the real message here. This was one of those days that splits the fan base, but also sharpens the picture. A forgotten high pick, Cam Smith, trying to reboot his career far from Miami, reminding us how every draft choice echoes for years. On the other side, the most explosive call yet, Tua on the bench and Quinn Ewers getting a shot that could open a new era or spark a full-blown crisis. And in between, rookies showing who can handle the heat and who still needs time. So tell me straight, do you see Ewers as a real test? Or is this a message being sent to Tua?